There were a series of games for the N-Gage that Bethesda put out. The Elder Scrolls Travels, Stormhold in 2003, Dawnstar in 2004, and also Shadowkey in 2004. I could not find any information on these games except that the reviews for them were mediocre. There's a weak draw distance, constant pop-up issues, overall graphic quality, janky combat, but the game still had a large world and great sound, a large amount of content, so it wasn't all bad. Now we move on to my favorite so far, The Elder Scrolls IV: Oblivion. It takes place in the same universe as its predecessors, Arena, Daggerfall, and Morrowind, though its specific storyline is original. The game is set in the Imperial province of Cyrodiil, an expansive territory spanning several square miles. Oblivion casts the player as a prisoner in a jail of the Imperial City, imprisoned for an unspecified crime. The player soon encounters the Emperor himself, voiced by Patrick Stewart, who does an amazing job, who later dies and gives you the Amulet of Kings to give to his son, Martin. Martin is voiced by Sean Bean, and their new heir to the throne, who you have to protect from the Daedroth, named Marunes Dagon. Dagon is the ruler of the hellish plane of Oblivion, and seeks to conquer the mortal realm with his Daedric armies and the help of a mysterious cult called the Mythic Dawn. At the same time, the trans-dimensional portals known as Oblivion Gates appear throughout Cyrodiil and spawn monsters across the landscape. After leaving the prison, the players head to Waynon Priory to locate a man named Joffrey, who's the Grand Master of Blades, the guards assigned to protect the Emperor. He directs the player to the city of Kvatch, where he believes the last son of Uriel Septim is located. The player heads there, manages to locate Martin. Unfortunately, the entire city is being destroyed by Daedric forces, as an Oblivion Gate opened in the middle of it. The player hooks up with the guards defending Kvatch. After a lengthy battle, manages to drive the Daedra out. Martin then agrees to travel to Waynon Priory to see Joffrey and get the Amulet of Kings. However, when they arrive, they are attacked by assassins. The player successfully repulses the invaders, but the discovery that the Amulet of Kings is no longer in their possession. In order to track down the culprits, the player heads to the Imperial City and meets up with Boros, who was present when Uriel Septim was murdered. Together they discover the location of the Mythic Dawn's Shrine, the faction that orchestrated the assassination. The player infiltrates the shrine and manages to steal the Mysterium Xerxes, an evil tome written by Marunes Dagon himself. Martin then realizes that they need to open a portal to Mankar Cameron's paradise, the man that is in possession of the Amulet of Kings. The player goes treasure hunting, gathering up the necessary items they need to open the portal. He retrieves the armor of Tiber Septim, a great Welkid stone, the great sigil stone from the Great Gate. With these, Martin is able to successfully open a portal to paradise. Players venture into it. The player is able to kill Mankar Cameron and escapes with the Amulet of Kings. Unfortunately, all hell is broken loose in the Imperial City. An Oblivion Gate opens, Marunes Dagon himself makes an appearance to rain destruction on everything. A huge battle ensues, and the player escorts Martin to the Temple of the One. At the same time, Dagon smashes through the roof and is about to kill both of them when Martin makes the ultimate sacrifice. He fuses all the powers and transforms into the Avatar of Akatosh. The two of them battle. Martin is able to defeat Dagon. However, the creature he has turned into freezes into stone, an eternal monument representing his ultimate sacrifice to save Cyrodiil. The first of two expansions for Oblivion is called Knights of the Nine. Upon installing it, the player hears rumors of an attack on the church in the town of Anvil. After visiting the prophet, who tells the tale of the second coming of evil Imrahil, the player must reform the Order of the Knights of the Nine and search for lost Crusade relics before finally taking on Imrahil himself. Besides the new quest, Knights of the Nine also adds Eliel, ruins, forts, caves, as well as the Priory of the Nine, which becomes the Knight's base of operations. Minor changes are also made to existing locations, such as the aforementioned ruined Anvil Chapel. Additionally, several new enemies and items are added to the game, which the player can then use throughout the rest of Oblivion. This was probably my favorite part of Oblivion, was this expansion. It may sound obscure to a lot, but I was away from the game for a while, and this brought me right back to it, and it was very exciting, and I couldn't get enough of it. I kept playing, and it brought me through right to the next expansion. The second Oblivion expansion, Shivering Isles, gives you extra content to go to the Daedric Prince Sheograth's Realm of Madness, which consists of an entirely new map to explore. The realm is effectively split down the middle. The light side, Mania, is filled with inhabitants delirious and manic, and a color-saturated environment to reflect that. The dark side, Dementia, is inhabited by the paranoid, depressed, as reflected by its grim environments. The capital city, New Sheoth, is similar with Crucible, Dementia, Bliss, Mania, and the Palace District, exact middle and home of Sheograth, reflecting the two sides of the world, its god and its divided nature. In the main quest, the player is recruited by Sheograth to stop a Ragnarok-style event called the Grey March. Jyglag, Daedric Prince of the Order, and the polar opposite of the Prince of Madness, returns at the end of every era to purge the Realm of Madness, forcing Sheograth to rebuild his domain. With you as his champion, Sheograth plans to fight back. He sends the player on many quests to try to put an end to the Grey March. However, the player ultimately fails, and Sheograth transforms into Jyglag, which the player is able to defeat Jyglag. And when the fight is over, Jyglag explains that because his realm was expanding so fast, the other Daedric princes put a curse on him that causes Sheograth to turn into Jyglag at the end of each era, and thus experience the Grey March over and over again. Because of this, Sheograth, against his will, destroys his own realm at the end of each era and has to rebuild it. He thanks the player for putting a halt to the cycle and considers him the new Sheograth. I am overly excited for tonight. I cannot wait for Skyrim to come out, and I put up a few screenshots. The game looks amazing, and I just want to go kill a dragon. So you guys have a good time. Go kill some dragons of your own and enjoy the show. I'll see you next time.